While 2020 was a pretty terrible year by every metric, a few inklings of interest managed to slip out. While the really big shows continued to lumber around, refusing to die or take a break, a few gems managed to slip through the cracks and leave a considerable impact. But none of them held a candle to the little gem that graced the screens right in the last few months of the year. Wondering which the Journey of Elaina, or Majo no Tabi Tabi, is the perfect adventure series. It follows Elaina, a young witch, as she explores the world, taking in the sights, meeting interesting people, and occasionally getting wrapped up in someone else's schemes. While episodic to a fault, the writers and editors organize the sequence of events in a way that gives you a great look into Elaina's psyche, before cutting all the pretense and giving you an actual look at Elaina's psyche. More importantly is the sense of adventure. This stands in stark contrast to the all-time greatest adventure series, One Piece, which, while excellent by nearly every single merit, is too goal-oriented in the wrong way for me to consider it the pinnacle of adventure. Have you ever taken a 3 AM trip to a restaurant on a whim, realize that you have time off and cash to burn, so you just jump into a car and drive to a part of the world you've never seen, with no plan and nothing but a briefcase of clothes and your bank card? My family and I did that once when I was young, and that whole weekend is permanently engraved in my mind. That's the feeling Elaina gave me. Other excellent adventures like the aforementioned One Piece, A Place Further Than the Universe, and Lord of the Rings all have destinations in mind and worthwhile goals to achieve while on those adventures, but Elaina is the first show I've seen where it's an adventure for adventure's sake. And as both an exploration of the world and an exploration of Elaina herself, it doesn't shy away from some gruesome shit. The first episode sees her in a nigh-abusive relationship with her mentor Fran, who is cold and rough with her for the sole purpose of discovering her breaking point and teaching her that she doesn't need to endure everything. That trying to take everything on her own isn't a healthy way to live, and can have dire consequences for her and the ones she loves, like the mother who sacrificed so much of her life and happiness to care for her. The second episode explores themes of loneliness, obsession, and maybe even a little bit of sexuality, and the third episode is where things get really dark with implied sexual assault, not so subtle abuse, and good old-fashioned child slavery. But every time it does get dark, it's immediately followed up by an episode with Fran, showing her how worthwhile life in general is. And then an episode with Saya, a spunky young witch in love with Elaina, to show her how much people care about her. And with help from the people we love, we can learn to love and accept ourselves and not be defined by the horrid things we've seen in the world. I think this is an extremely important lesson, especially nowadays. There's a lot more to unpack here, especially with that last episode and how it ties back into the more intense moments. And I hope to revisit the series with the full breakdown relatively soon. But for now, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Gorgeous, masterfully produced, and fascinating from beginning to end. I'm Mediocrity4, thanks for watching.